Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Even though Christmas is quite some time away. In fact, it's almost the opposite of Christmas. uh, so, as you can probably tell from the fact that I started making videos for a month or two in 2017, I made a couple videos in 2018, a couple videos in 2019, a couple videos in 2020, that I'm not very good at keeping up with this kind of thing. Um, Role plays. So I'd probably be happier if role plays. Sorry, someone's texting me. So the text that I just got. My little brother has just graduated from college. I'm not going to his graduation, neither is he actually. But it's too far away for me to go to his graduation. So my little brother's graduating. Hooray! I mean, it's great. The main thing I hope, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any student debt. I hope he doesn't, because student debt is a millstone tied around your neck while you're trying to swim in the river of life. I don't have any student debt because I got a full scholarship to. I got a full scholarship. A full scholarship. 100% paid for. In fact, they gave me money. So, yeah, this is the reason why I don't really like making videos, is because I can never really figure out what I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I get lucky and hit on a topic that I'm really passionate about, and I just ramble on for 20 minutes. But I'm sure that's what you came here for. So, I mean, at this point, if you're still watching my videos, it's probably because you enjoy what I ramble about and how I ramble. Hey, have you watched Jordan Peterson's videos? Jordan Peterson is a he's pretty savage. He's very savage. He's a savage. I mean, he just whenever you get out these feminists, communists, and various other woke people, Jordan Peterson just goes and tears them up. See me, I am a centrist. Well, I'm a social libertarian and a centrist, an economic centrist. So I believe that everyone should be able to do whatever they want as long as it doesn't harm someone else. They can even harm themselves for all I care. Although harming you can't harm your my stance on self-harm is that if it's a direct self-harm like cutting or suicide, then we'll do everything we can to stop it. If it's an indirect self-harm like say drugs or reckless behavior, that's on them. So direct self-harm, I would say, is self-harm for the sake of self-harm. Indirect self-harm is self-harm through the pursuit of something, like a high or adventure. So I believe that we should try to stop all direct self-harm as much as possible, and we should employ. Anyways, I'm a social libertarian and an economic centrist. So I believe that both the economic left and the economic right have good ideas about how governments should be structured, and bad ideas about how governments should be structured. On the left, the good idea: we should take care of people who don't have the ability to take care of themselves. I can't not believe in that, considering that I myself am on SSI disability because of my schizophrenia, and it really helps me out. It helps me live the life I want to live. And I can't be against that if I'm benefiting from it. I can't be a hypocrite when it comes to that. So I believe that things like SSI disability and food stamps and all these other economic impact things, like helping people who don't have a leg up, I think that's something that should be done. What I don't think should be done is too much of that. I'm saying like pork barrel. You know what they mean by pork barrel spending? Pork barrel spending is like, did you hear about how they sent like 8 billion or $8 million to Pakistani gender studies? That's pork barrel. And that's the stuff I'm against, which is why I'm a centrist. On the right, while I have read both of Ayn Rand's novels, oh, by the way, I'm probably one of the only people in the entire world who's read both Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead. Well, there can't be too many people who've read both of them. Definitely no one ever who is a leftist. No economic leftist has ever read Ayn Rand, because if you read a book by Ayn Rand, you're at least nudged away from being an extreme economic leftist. It's like one of those things where if you can survive an Ayn Rand book, it'll change your. It's one of those books that'll literally change how you view the world, or at the very least, it changed how I viewed the world. So the thesis. Okay, so Ayn Rand's two books are Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead. Atlas Shrugged is Ayn Rand's thesis on society, and The Fountainhead is Ayn Rand's thesis on individuality. So, if you don't know who Ayn Rand is, she is a Russian-born author who survived the Russian Revolution of 1917, moved to America in the 1930s, and was the developer of libertarianism. She is the ultimate libertarian. The ultimate libertarian being that she's like the originator of the libertarians. Economic libertarians believe that the world functions best when the government stays out of the way of the people. Basically, Ayn Rand believes that, or believed, she's dead now, Ayn Rand believed that people take care of each other in the process of doing things for themselves. So she believed in hyper-capitalism. Well, yeah. But the reason why, she says, the reason why capitalism is... See, here's the thing. I believe that capitalism has led to the greatest increase in individual wealth across the board the world has ever seen. There's absolutely no doubt about that. What I do believe is that people need to be held responsible for the things that they do. When Ayn Rand wrote these two books, Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead, we didn't know about climate change. We didn't know about pollution. Plastic was barely a thing. And I think that there is merit to the idea that we need to control businesses pollution. Pollution is bad. That's the thing, you know. Pollution is bad. We need to save the dolphins. But here's the thing. Me, personally, and I believe most people, would rather have a little bit of pollution and a nice quality of life than no pollution and live like an eco-communist, you know? Like, I like my computer. I actually don't, personally, this may sound a bit weird or harsh, but personally, I don't really care how my computer gets made. I don't really care about I do care, but at the same time, I can't care. I know that my computer probably involved conflict minerals, sweatshop labor, the exploitation of various things, low wage, you know, pollution, and all this hardship. But Frankly, this may sound harsh. Frankly, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a hypocrite. That's the thing. I'm happy just being a hypocrite. Enjoying my technology, enjoying my air conditioning, enjoying my relatively affluent I'm not middle class, I'm poor. Relatively affluent American life without really thinking about where all my wealth comes from. Um, but here's the thing, there's more good than there is evil in the creation of my computer. More people are lifted out of poverty through the production of this computer than are cast into poverty. More children are brought schooling and medical care and various other things thanks to the production of my computer. Like, there's good things, there's bad things that go into something as complex as this. There's good things, there's bad things, and I believe that in the end they all balance. So, one of the problems with me is that I think too hard about stuff. And when I try to explain this to people, they don't listen. Most people can only handle like one or two flip-flops. A flip-flop in this context is a but. So like, I like drinking milk. But the production of milk is industrialized and not very kind to the cow. But modern dairy cows have to be milked, otherwise they'll literally die. But us humans were the ones who bred those cows to that point. But without us breeding these cows, the cows would have been significantly less populous, so in the end we helped their genetic code survive and prosper. But the cows probably would have been happier in their natural environment. But milk tastes good. But milk may not be the best for me nutritionally. But some people are lactose intolerant, and I understand that. But milk gets better. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a flip-flop. It's a flip-flop. Do I like milk or do I not like milk? I like milk, but can I really understand the history of milk? That's what happens to me. You know, I'm like, when I tell someone, oh, I like drinking milk, I got like a million caveats in my head every single time I say something. It's like, I can't have arguments with people. I can't argue with people because I find it too difficult to get them to understand what I'm trying to tell them. Well, that was my rant. I guess at this point, if you're still watching, you probably enjoy me ranting like this. My videos, I try and get them to 20 minutes. 20 minutes. All right, back to Ayn Rand. The Atlas Shrugged is about how society enables specific people to exploit other people. Well, here's the story of Atlas Shrugged, alright? There's this guy named Reardon. I don't know his first name. There's a guy named Reardon. He invents something called Reardon metal, which is a really powerful, really strong kind of metal. And the government decides to nationalize his business and there's a shortage of the metal, and stuff happens. The world falls apart. New York City blacks. You know what? I recommend that you read these books. You probably won't because they're very dense, but you probably should read Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead. You should. Although I know you probably won't. Because they're, number one, they're kind of hard to get a hold of. I mean, well, there's always Amazon, but, I don't know that you can walk into the regular library and be like, hey, can I have a copy of Atlas Shrugged or The Fountainhead? These are literary books. They're really dense and really well written. As technically, like purely technically, Ayn Rand has the most robust electric writing style I have ever read anywhere. Like, oh my god, I don't know how she does it. Even she's not even a native English speaker, and her words like rip off the page. Or at the very least, that's how I envision it. It's really good. Like, her writing style is on point. And the story is that she spent 5 years on each book, looking over every single sentence in the book and thinking, does it matter? Each sentence. She asked for each sentence in the entire book, doesn't matter. Should I take it out? Should I leave it? Her writing style is just chef's kiss. Technically, having nothing to do with her philosophy or the story or the overarching anything. Like, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, Ayn Rand is the best writer I've ever read. Also, her story is very interesting. It's like archetypical, like an archetype. Like, it awakens in your consciousness this ancient thought of, I've heard this before. I've seen this before. Like, it's like Jungian, although she was born before Jung did his thing. Or she wrote her books before Jung did his thing. Jung was like in the 50s. Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead came out in the 40s and 30s. Not entirely sure when, but I think that the list of authors you need to read, Ayn Rand up there with the best of them. Although there are some people who would say it's total hogwash. In fact, most people would probably say it's total hogwash. She is radical. I mean, her ideas were radical. Like, she came up with an entire theory of mind called objectivism, where the whole point is that if you work for yourself and solely for your own benefit, then you will help others in the process. Her theory is that if every single human drove toward their own goal, doing everything they could to achieve that goal, society would become a utopia. In her mind, a true utopia is where every man is himself, where every man does what he believes in and what he should be doing. So, like, did you hear that? Damn it, I should probably mute my desktop audio. I was fucking Norton Security. Yeah, I should mute that. She believes in the divinity of man. Like, that's literally, like, completely serious. The divinity of man. In one of her books, they literally build a temple to man. Although I do think that most. Well, let's not go there. Let's wrap up. So, what do I want you to learn from this class? Is this a class? The more and more I do these things, the more I feel like a professor. Should I become a professor? Obviously, I can't because I don't have an advanced degree, but I think I would do good as a professor of hyperspace. I'm qualified to do that at the very least. Be a professor of hyperspatial studies. I could. If you want me to teach you about hyperspace, oh my gosh, I totally could. Anyways, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed listening to me, and thank you very much. I'll be going now. You'll see me again tomorrow, most likely. Bye.